1 and playing on Foul Fortress. And man, it's been a while since I've uploaded Battlefield 1. The last one I ever uploaded was, and most definitely, the beautiful, oh my, clap, people getting clapped, medics and stuff from range. But I have not played Battlefield in a while, and good reason being is that when I typically don't play, when I'm not or doing live streams or recording, I'm typically, oh shit, I'm typically usually playing games. I just don't ever really live stream or record, but I do play oftenly. But as far as like live streams, and I've been doing a little bit more live streams lately, the past 2 weeks, due to the fact that I've been playing Fortnite and I've been live streaming that game. That's the only game I've actually been able to live stream for multiple days, very consistent and close to each other. Very close by to each other, so it's awesome that I was able to do that, and because I usually really don't have the time to do it, and even the times that I did do it, I really didn't have the time to live stream it, but it was awesome that I was able to actually give you guys, you know, that promise of being able to I can't even oh, they are all over there. Woo! Damn! I'm telling you, the storm goes in. 1,200 points, my boys. That's how we start off a video, a live stream for Battlefield 1. And more of it's just a chill stream, and just kind of letting you guys in on what's new in the world, or not necessarily the world, but I guess DICE really don't want to give me a tank. Just kind of talk about everything really in the gaming world, and just kind of in general everything that's kind of going on with me right now. I didn't really want to do an edited video. I felt like a live stream was really, oh my gosh, was really better to do. I don't know why, but I just felt like a live stream was necessary. Was necessary to do right now for this type of video. It's more of a chill stream if anything, and let's see if we can take this shit out. But anyways, I've been keeping up a lot with damn, I knew he was looking at me. I don't know what he's doing. I should have just took the AT rocket and blew his heads off. Blew that head off. Bluge, is that a word? Anyways, I've been keeping a lot with Battlefront 2. I think I've been kind of talking to you guys about that. Battlefront 2 and Fortnite are the biggest games that I want to play this year, that I'm most hyped up for. And for some reason, people can't spawn in a tank anymore. It's completely broken, I guess. DICE need to fix their servers or fix their tanks. I don't know. Some shit like that. Anyways, I'm hyped up for the game. If you didn't know, I'm a huge oh shit, nice aim. What the infantry? Nice aim, my boy. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Period. The trilogy, original trilogy, prequel trilogy, the new trilogy that just came out, and Last Jedi is coming out this year, which I'm psyched for. I'm freaking amazed by what they're doing in Battlefront 2. Now Battlefront 2, as far as comparing it to the original Battlefront 2, what they're changing up, in my opinion, like what's the biggest takeaway, right? You know, we could if it's exactly like Battlefront, you know, Battlefront 2 from the original PS2 days, then what's so special about that, right? In my opinion, I feel like he has to get muted. Sorry, just mute the whole squad just in case. And no offense, not that I feel any type of way, guys, or I'm important or some YouTube whatever, but I'm trying to get my point across. Battlefront 2, I'm hoping, from what I'm seeing, is that they change up a lot of dynamics from just the original Battlefront 2. Because, you know, a lot of people will enjoy a beautiful, gorgeous Battlefront 2. But if it's exact copy of the original that came out, you know, what, almost like 10 years ago, or actually it's been about 10 years, I think, or over 10 years, what's the big different takeaway that EA or DICE can, you know, put their signature, their little, you know, their dot on it to change it up a little bit to give an extra sense of newness and flavor to it. And I think to a lot of Star Wars fans, all you really gotta Yep. Power of the factory, boys. I mean, the storm. What a lot of people could be happy about as far as Star Wars fans in general and Battlefront fans is that it's a new Battlefront 2 and it's updated 2017, better graphics, better whatever you want to, you know, better hit scan, better not hit scan, but better all around hitbox, and you know, all around the gameplay, gunplay all feels a lot more better, and it's updated. It's 2017 edition basically, and everything is modified and is in standard for, you know, the standard right now in gaming world as far as first-person shooters or third-person shooters, and that's amazing for a lot of Star Wars fans, you know, and for me too as well. Just trying to see. I gotta put that visibility down for the objectives, but what's the big takeaway that DICE can do as far as making it their own little baby, their own little, you know, hint and smidge of taste and flavor to Battlefront 2 that can differentiate from the original Battlefront 2 on PS2 days, OG days. So what I'm basically saying is that, is there going to be anything different, pretty much? Is there going to be anything different, period, is the whole thing about it. Now, I'd freaking outstanded by, you know, overall the sense of minimize texture, the overall sense of just having another Battlefront 2 game made by DICE, who's made the Battlefront or Battlefield series, and man, they can make a war experience game, but can they make it a Star Wars game? Now, a lot of people said Battlefront was a Star Wars game. It felt like a Star Wars game, and which is amazing, but can it be different from the predecessor of the original Battlefront 2 game? And that's my big thing. Now, what could be so different about this Battlefront 2, and which is already known, is that it is the first Battlefront, which already differentiates the whole sense of what Battlefront 2 did, right? I'm a little scared. It's misty up in here. All three eras are gonna be in this game, and I think that's the biggest takeaway, that is DICE flavor and taste to it, but as well the whole team play mechanic. And we know we had that in the original Battlefront 2 series, but how better is the whole team play gonna be? Is it is it gonna be feel like, you know, actual Star Wars kind of squad kind of play, or is it gonna be like something like Battlefield, where it's like buddy system, where you can be in on a teammate who says they're ready to spawn in, and then you spawn in on them, and then they're, you know, halfway dead, and then vulnerability time, and then you get a free kill. So that's another thing too, which what differentiates a little bit. I can't remember the original Battlefront 2 game too much as far as the whole squad, but I do know that when you spawn in, and if somebody is in the, you know, spawning screen or whatever, in the customization screen, or they're ready to spawn, whoever is in there, as far as you just died and somebody is about to spawn in, you spawn in exactly on the time that they spawn in. So if you're on a respawning time, that doesn't even matter, because as long as somebody else is, you know, about to spawn in or has half a second left, you, my friend, are gonna spawn in, which is pretty cool. And what, to me, what that says is that what's so cool about if I get this go. Dude, the med box headshot. Headshot, boys. Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing today? Leave a comment and let me know what you guys want to hear, because I am rambling a little bit about Battlefront 2 and talking about how can it be different from the original Battlefront 2 on the PlayStation 2 OG days. And if you guys played that game, man, it is amazing. And if you're just a Star Wars fan in general, dude, you're gonna be hyped up from Battlefront 2. But what I'm talking about really is how big of a difference. He's gotta go. He's gotta go.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Is it gonna be different from the original Battlefront 2 game? And what I was saying is that, first of all, this is the first Battlefront game, and it is a Battlefront 2 game that is going to have... It's going to have... Whoa, whoa, whoa! All three eras, which already differentiates everything. Now, DICE did already go ahead and say that Battlefront 2 is going to have... It's going to go ahead and have the original trilogy as far as heroes, and as far as content in general is going to have more than the rest of the other trilogies, starting off at the launch of the game. And if you did not know, Battlefront 2 is going to have a free DLC seasons kind of theme, is what they're going for. And the very first one is gonna drop, as far as, oh my, the Dreadnought is out, and we're about to win this match. But as far as Battlefront seasons and everything,
We have taken objective apples.
as far as that, we're gonna go ahead and get some seasons in, and that's what we're gonna get. Finn and Captain Phasma in the very first one, and that's pretty much right after launch of the game. And I think it will drop, if I do remember correctly, probably about a week or two before The Last Jedi drops. It seems appropriate, or maybe it's like a week or two after Battlefront 2 comes out. I don't know, I'm not too sure on that, but I am extremely hyped to see, you know, Captain Phasma, and even be able to play as that character in this game is a big hype for me in general. So I'm freaking outstanding and cannot, damn, that Dreadnought was smart, blew me to bits. Cannot wait to play that. As far as seasons, we don't know what's gonna come after that. That's the very first seasons, and then we're gonna have a little bit of I think the map is Fondor, is a new map. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Is a new map that's gonna be dropped with the two characters, Captain Phasma and Finn. So we're getting a map and two new heroes. To me, that starting off right after, and being that is pretty much post-launch DLC, that's pretty awesome to hear. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure in that mid-range area between when the game comes out and then between The Last Jedi is when it's gonna drop. I do not expect it to drop on Last Jedi week. Maybe it will, maybe like 3 to 4 days earlier before the movie comes out. I'm not too sure, but, and we managed to get Best Squad Edward as the Brits, but I'm outstanding for that. So that's already 3 different things. One, all eras, you know, Rey, Luke, not Rey, I mean not Luke, but Rey. Can we mute this guy? Anyways, Rey, Kylo Ren, so far, Finn, Captain Phasma, and then we're gonna be able to even play as Aiden Ursio, is what's been leaked just a couple weeks ago. We're gonna be able to play as her as well, and General Grievous has been leaked as well. Yoda, you know, a very classic character coming back, and they even said with the post-launch what we're already expect, just in case if you're a fan of the prequel heroes and everything, Obi-Wan, Anakin Skywalker, General Grievous, you know, and a lot of people has been talking about a popular demand is even, you know, heroes as far as the clones, as far as Captain Rex and some of the commanding popular, you know, elite officers and commanders of the clones, and in which I'd love to deep dive and get a little bit of that as far as new heroes and something that's different from the original Battlefront 2 you know, game, so on PS2. So that's what, so far, Three Eras has a lot of variety as far as heroes. New trilogy is what's so outstanding about it. And then we're getting free DLC, and what DICE has already confirmed when they revealed Battlefront 2 at what was it, E3, I believe, multiplayer gameplay showcase, was that you're going to be able to even they're gonna listen to all player feedback as far as DLC, whatever popular demands by the community. That is what's gonna be as far as hero drops, maps, and such. Now, in my opinion, in my opinion, I do feel like they already obviously is gonna have some characters down the line. Down the line, they already have some characters already planned out, mapped out for DLCs, just like with Captain Phasma and Finn and all that. But that's kind of expected due to the fact that they are celebrating and posting content as far as The Last Jedi. That's expected. Now, the thing is, though, somebody is up on that mountain, hill, valley. But buddy, wasted ammo. I'm running. Like I said, they didn't confirm it, but it's gonna be a high demand. Obi-Wan, we already know is gonna be in the game. Hasn't been confirmed, but you can't have Battlefront 2 without Obi-Wan, especially with all three eras. You know what I'm saying? You have to have Obi-Wan in the game. That's like a fact. You just can't do that. It's like, it's illegal, bro. It's illegal. You gotta have Obi-Wan in the game. You gotta have Anakin Skywalker in my, wow, that long range shot due to the storm. You gotta have these characters in the game. And why I'm saying they're in the game and they're not confirmed yet is because DICE already know what they did wrong in Battlefront 2 or Ooh boy, if I would have swung that revolver around, get that headshot, boy. They really want to listen to player feedback because this is Star Wars. You can't mess up with this fan base as far as the Battlefront series. Battlefront, you gotta be kidding, dude. And they mess up with the first one, and it wasn't necessarily I think DICE's fault, but I think it was whoever published the game who had high demands over. Damn, 72, nice. That shit skipped through like a rock flowing on water. But anyways, whoever had demand over the team who was working on the game, they didn't have much control over Battlefront, their first game. So Battlefront 2, they really want to give what, and through multiple interviews, and you know, a lot of people could say, you know, it's an interview, of course they're gonna, you know, like, let us hear what we want to hear, right? I mean, that's what developers do. Well, this is the thing though, right? DICE is going off of doing something that they started with Battlefront 2, I mean, not with Battlefront 2, but they're going with the whole free seasons DLC model. He's gonna blow me up. I gotta run. If that was assault, I'm pretty sure he would have done that. Anyways, they're going on a whole free, you know, thing, and with that, and they were saying that they're gonna. I knew it. The Model 10, the way he was firing, Model 10. Anyways. The whole free that's just a red sign or a green light saying that they're gonna really go off of what we want as a community and everything, and as far as, you know, they really want to give the fan base what we as Star Wars fans really truly deserve, and a really good Battlefront with the characters and all the mechanics and everything that we do want. And it's Star Wars, you gotta give the fans what they want, you know. And I think this is something for DICE that is gonna be a little bit challenging as far as really actually giving people what they want, which they usually don't. I'm not trying to make fun of them, but, you know, that is what it is, you know. So I'm happy to know that the game is really going to be taken care of in a good sense. For it's going to be something different, and it's going to be what I want out of Battlefront game. And I'm psyched to see that we're gonna this later August 25th, I think, is the date that we're gonna get some Spattle guys, space battles. Now the thing with this is that I hope that, and what people have been saying so far, and that was, you know, that was that specific build, but we don't know how DICE is going to switch it up, if they're going to change anything as far as the flight mechanics and space mechanics, and that's dogfighting, space fighting. We don't know if they're going to change up anything, but from what that build from E3, they did say that at least the people who played said it was a really solid flying simulation, and it worked out really well. So I'm psyched out for that, because that was my biggest thing. I love space battle. So for me, it just makes sense. You know, I'm hoping that pretty much is that the, you know, all that whole fighting mechanics, space dog fighting, whatever, is going to be really good. And from what they said over at E3, it did feel really in tune. It felt really good. It felt like you were in control actually of every maneuver possible, with your joysticks or whatever, mouse, whatever you want to call it. And excited for that. That's gonna be a mechanic. And so all they, in my opinion, all they have to really do, let's do this AOC. Somebody's, no. All they have to really do is, what I want is dynamic in environments. Something that when you're fighting in space, something unexpected happens out of the environment. Something that you can use, like debris, broken, shattered rocks and meteors. And, you know, if somebody's on your ass, you can somehow maneuver. And if you're a truly skilled pilot and the other person isn't, you can get that person to crash into one of those and fall for those risky kind of maneuvers. And have those incredible space battle moments that not necessarily is just a space battle kind of thing, but something that feels like a Star Wars kind of moments, you know. And I'm hoping that you get that sense of, you know, this is Star Wars when you're fighting. Wow. When you're dogfighting in space and everything. So I hope that we have those moments is what's primarily is my biggest concern out of the, you know, space battles. I'm hoping that as far as space maps and everything, I hope they're not just like super open and all that stuff. I want there to be a little bit of cover. I want there to be a little bit of everything. I want there to be a little bit of everything, so as far as cover, so you can really, you know, get those risky rewards as far as like flying through, you know, asteroid or flying through something that's gonna kill you, but you can use your advantage to kind of stall time or to, you know, have an opponent who's on your tail crash into something. Some moments like that, or whatever makes the you know, those space battles so intense and surreal, and what makes it Star Wars space battles is primarily what I'm talking about. And we're gonna get some of that at the Gamescom showcase, or the gameplay showcase coming August 25th, and I am freaking excited for that. I'm stoked. I want it bad. Want a bad, and I'm hoping that DICE can deliver on that, because that is my biggest takeaway is space battles. As far as a multiplayer side of Battlefront 2, I'm hoping they can get that thing just down beautiful, gorgeous, and right, my friends, because if they get I have high hopes with the whole class systems and everything, that they're just gonna do amazing work on the game. Oh, that crossbow, dude. They're gonna do amazing work as far as squads. I'm hoping that that is going to be a really good mechanic, and I hope that the squads really do promote team play, and that every class is useful to function as a unit, as a team, as a squad, as an elite squad, as a clone trooper squad, as a Imperial squad, as a First Order squad, as a Rebel squad, as a Resistance squad, as everything. I hope it just works out. Oh my gosh! I'm just hoping that everything's gonna work out well as space battles, because if they nail that, the multiplayer aspect of everything so far from what I've seen is gonna be amazing, and I'm gonna be able to test that beta for you guys coming October this year, and I'm waiting on that beta, and that beta is gonna drive me nuts already, because it's gonna give me all these amazing goosebumps and everything. I'm gonna get pre-order. I'm already gonna pre-order the game. I'm just waiting. I don't really want to spend 60 right now just yet, until we get closer to that beta time coming October, to be able to, you know, showcase that for you guys and be able to really, you know, I'm the type of person who I don't really like to spend 60 early on. I like to spend 60 like maybe about a month or two before the game releases, just to see, you know, what's everything's gonna be pumping out of the game, and every, you know, opinions and impressions when people are gonna play games that are coming out, just to finalize whether I'm gonna get the game or not for sure. Battlefront 2, I already know I'm gonna get it. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, and wait till we get towards beta time, which the beta does open early, for people who's gonna pre-order the game 2 days early, I believe, starting on October 4th for early pre-order purchase peoples, and then for everybody else, I believe it's the 6th to the 10th, I believe. I think, or it's 6th to the 8th. Is when the game opens up for everybody to play open beta Battlefront 2, and people are gonna be outstanding by what this game is gonna deliver. I think, in my opinion, I think DICE is, and I'm gonna die. Oh, not yet. I think DICE is gonna deliver really well on the game. And as far as single player, I've heard a lot from GameSpot and all those people. Now they could be paid to be saying good things about the single player aspect, but I've seen multiple people, as far as YouTubers, who's not been paid to play the game, and who want not like X Factor and all those guys who got to play it initially first, but everybody at E3 side of things who got to play it. So after the game, as far as the single player closed doors, it was really an impressive cinematic, intense, and actually felt like a Star Wars movie, kind of driven campaign. And what they're going for as far as this Battlefront 2, actually Lucasfilms or the who DICE and EA work with, as far as the actual Star Wars, movie team and who's in charge of Star Wars, they actually have a collaboration kind of ideal and deal and everything, and how they work together with the whole sense of what they want to throw in the game and everything. And when I watched an interview just yesterday over on PlayStation YouTube channel, was that they wanted to create a Battlefield 2 experience with all three eras, but they wanted to add in a single player aspect, which a lot of people were mad and driven about the very first game, and they understood that, but they didn't know what they could add to this game specifically that made it a Battlefront story, that driven Battlefront story, because every story in Battlefront, I mean in Star Wars, isn't necessarily the same, and each story has its own tone, has its own, wow, that fell under the map. Anyways, it has its own tone, it's driven, and man, tore those dudes up. Has its own tone, its own story, and its own theme to it. So that's the whole thing about Star Wars, is that it has such a grand, big, ultimate, never-ending universe, and that's what gives that sense of so much story to it. And they could do so much with with Star Wars in the sense of story and everything, but they wanted to make this game specifically a Battlefront driven campaign, and not just any Star Wars game that just feels too as far as story feel too familiar, and that's completely understandable, and that's what gives it its unique taste of what a Battlefront game is. And what they said as far as the team is that the Star Wars movie team is that they wanted to give a time period between episode Return of, I believe, Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, that 30-year lap, to kind of fill in and give this story a fulfilling of what happened between there, but give it a sense of this is a Battlefront headshot city, a Battlefront kind of specific story where anybody can be a hero, put on a different type of lens, and you can see that anybody can be a hero in a specific certain type of specific situations. Rebels is gonna look like they're gonna be the bad guys, and they might just be, in a sense. Damn, that collateral. If it was kills, it would have been collateral, a triple. They want to give the sense of anybody could be a hero, even in Empire, the Imperials, the anybody. And through a certain perspective, if you can drive it right and not just make it seem like one's a bad guy, you can specifically make one look like a bad guy. And I think that's a really interesting perspective that they're going with this time around, is that we're seeing the actual side of the Empire in a more different perspective, and how they see everything as rebels are trying to destroy and try to be rebels and break free of rules and do their own thing, and that the universe needs structure and order. So that's what's so exciting to see as far as a new perspective for the what we're usually used to seeing, and we got a little bit of that. We got a little bit of that in Star Wars Rogue One, and I love that movie. And I think why I loved it so much was not that, you know, because hint hint, you know, big thing for everybody was uh Darth Vader was gonna be in there, you know, choke slamming and force choking everybody and throwing and slicing and dicing in a 2017 edition looking beautiful, gorgeous Star Wars story. And we know that Star Wars is always a good, beautiful franchise with a nice, driven story, but it was a different type of Star Wars story. It wasn't the one we're always used to, and I think that's what's so amazing about it, is that we saw the rebel side of everything. We're always used to seeing the Jedi way, kind of, you know, they're the good guys and all that stuff. And so when we started seeing some of the rebel side, the other good guys, they're not always so good, depending on what they had to do, the task that they had to take on from, you know, the commanders of the rebels and the leaders. They didn't have an easy... Wow. It's the show, can't say nothing. They didn't have an easy life working in the rebels, and they were a ragtag along, you know, group that wanted to have freedom from the empire, the Imperials. So, you know, we saw the rebels do some really nasty decisions and do some nasty actions that we never saw before. We never had those lenses to really look through that. And I think that's what is so amazing about that perspective, and just in general about life, is when you can put on different perspective and see through, you know, someone's else lens, someone's else perspective, and really learn and see the difference in life, and grow a little. And so they can do that, and you know, why can't they do that, you know, with Battlefront 2, as far as giving a different lens and making the Empire look like they're the good guys, and kind of see their struggle and what they see. And that's what's going to be groundbreaking about this game, is that we're getting Iden Versio, somebody who is an elite leader squadron of the Imperial elite squad, and it's gonna be pretty sick in my opinion. Reload. So that's my spill on Battlefront 2 as far as single player, multiplayer. I think it's gonna complete package for a $60 purchase. If you really have to. Damn, aiming was bad. It's a complete package. You know, everything's free after the whole game. I think is gonna be a quality Star Wars game that we got in the first Battlefront 2 game, and it's gonna be a blast. So it's gonna be a blast, and hopefully you guys do enjoy, man, this upcoming year. And what's coming, oh my, that's what's coming out as far as content, my boy. Oh my, grenade, medic, medic. But hopefully you guys are enjoying. I'm gonna have to end the video after we win this match, because you know that's how we do it in Battlefield 1, baby. And hopefully you guys did not cry too much about my my rambling, and hopefully you guys didn't take me too serious, or maybe I didn't get too serious. And hopefully you guys did enjoy the, you know, the little rant a little bit. Because I do love me some Star Wars in a Battlefront game. Makes me real freaking happy. Woo! Lighting me up. But with that, guys, enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up if you really do support me and you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see some more Battlefield, but some more actually when the game comes out. There's beta, and when the game releases some Battlefront 2 content. You can go ahead and click the subscribe button and click the notify bell to make sure you get notified every time I make a video or Battlefront 2 video when that game comes out, or the beta. And I'll see you guys like always in the next video.